We live in a world that pretty much screams if you didn't post it, it didn't happen. But today, we're going to explore a pretty radical idea. What if the greatest strength is actually found in digital silence? Let's get into it.
So let's start with someone you probably know. I mean, heck, maybe it's even you. That person who never posts photos online. No vacation pictures, no food shots, no selfies. What do you think their story is?
Well, the automatic assumption, right? In our super connected world, we just figure a lack of online activity must mean, well, a lack of any activity. We think an unposted life must be an unlived one. But is that really true?
What if that silence isn't a void at all? What if it's actually a sign of a life so full, so rich, that it doesn't even need an audience? We're going to explore just how a quiet social media feed can signal a really deep internal strength.
Okay, so first things first, let's reframe this whole idea. We're not talking about someone who's failing to participate. Not at all. We're talking about a deliberate, conscious choice to live life off-screen.
So what is this digital invisibility we're talking about? It's a pretty specific idea, and believe me, it goes way beyond just deleting a few apps from your phone. Did you catch that keyword in there, performing? That's what it is, isn't it? It frames online sharing as a kind of performance for an audience. So digital invisibility, it's not about hiding. It's about making the choice to stop performing and to just start living authentically for yourself in the real world. And this really gets to the heart of it. Choosing not to post doesn't mean you have a boring life. Actually, it's quite the opposite. It can mean you're so wrapped up in your experiences, so present, that the thought of stopping to document it for other people just doesn't even cross your mind. The focus is on living it, not, curating it for an audience.
So to really get why someone would choose not to share, we kind of have to look at why so many of us feel compelled to share in the first place. And this brings us right into the psychology of what's often called the validation game. So yeah, why do we do it? Why do we feel that little twitch, that impulse to pull out our phones during a beautiful sunset or a fantastic meal? What are we really looking for when we hit that post button? It all really boils down to this crucial difference. On one hand, you've got external validation. That's the little dopamine hit you get from a like, the ego boost from a comment. But on the other hand, you have internal validation, and that's that quiet confidence that your experiences are meaningful all on their own, no audience required. And that right there brings us to the central idea of this whole explainer, connecting that quiet online presence directly to a really powerful sense of inner security. Just think about what's happening when we post something. A lot of the time, even if we don't realize it, we're asking a question, right? We're asking, is my life good enough? Do you approve of this? It's a search for that external validation we were just talking about. This quote just hits the nail on the head. Secure self-esteem means the experience itself is the reward. The memory of that sunset is enough. The joy of that amazing meal is enough. It doesn't need a bunch of outside witnesses to make it real or valid. And here's the really powerful conclusion from all this. A person who doesn't broadcast their life isn't hiding it. They're probably just too busy living it. Their self-worth isn't tied to the number of likes they get. Their feed is quiet because their mind is at peace. Okay, so what's the takeaway here? How do we apply this? Let's bring this all together and think about what it can mean for your own digital life. Look, to be absolutely clear, this is not an attack on sharing things online. That can be about connection and community, and that's great. The point is just to recognize that not sharing can be a position of power too. It's about the quiet strength that comes from finding validation from within yourself, not from a glowing screen. So I'll just leave you with this to think about. The next time you see someone with a quiet feed, maybe don't ask what's missing from their life. Instead, ask what might be so present and fulfilling that it simply doesn't need an audience. And more importantly, what does your own digital silence or your noise say about where you find your validation?